associated with is a lot of things. Lyndon Baines Johnson, of course, was a pioneer. You've heard of his effort to create a new beginning for this country's efforts in how it would relate to the conditions that affect low-income Americans. He was not only creative, innovative, but downright forceful. He was a pioneer. And all of those characteristics were those that we were looking for in the award winner for the Lyndon Baines Johnson Human Service Award. I've known Tim for a number of years. I have a tremendous amount of respect for what he's done, not just in Ohio, because he is well known in Ohio, but because of what he's done for community action. And so it is with a great deal of pleasure, and it's a privilege for me to ask you to join me in thanking Tim and awarding him the 2014 Lyndon Baines Johnson Human Service Award.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You know, when Mark was here, just when Mr. Sharber spoke to us, he mentioned meeting me and my 3 cents. In fact, I just want to take a couple minutes to introduce my guys to you. Brennan, Timmy, and Justin, stand up there. The thing of it is, they understand something that we do about the importance of service. I'd just like to briefly share that with you. My oldest son, Brennan, is involved with people's right, responsibility, to know what's going on in the world around them. He's the news director for a very large television station in Cleveland, Ohio. My little guy, Timmy, along with his real job, he's a lieutenant colonel in the Virginia National Guard, an Afghan veteran. And my son Justin is a medical professional. He's a paramedic and is the first responder and the vice president and chief operating officer of a large ambulance company in Columbus, Ohio. So all my guys know what it means to serve. You know, ladies and gentlemen, for centuries, the words of the poet have captured very much about our history on this planet. They talked about all kinds of things in terms of literature, society, politics, history, music, war, peace, and poverty. Poets have captured the horror, the destruction, the deprivation of poverty, and they have insisted with their writings that something be done about it. And I had an experience many years ago that I never forgot from a very unique kind of poet, a different kind of poet. It was in Chicago. It was a homeless conference. And in this lobby of the hotel, there was artwork done by homeless people. Most of it was by little children. And their artwork depicted all kinds of things. Family, hope, promise, sadness, and it was just a unique situation. But then there was another poet that, I never forgot. He knew something about loneliness and deprivation. To me, he or she is forever anonymous. Obviously had lived a hard life, but understood something about community action we need to remind ourselves of, and I don't think we do that enough. This is what he said. This is what he or she had written. I remember this blind guy, not so much from another time, but somewhere else, somewhere just beyond words. And I was there, big city blues, and he was old and black and blind, like I said, and he had this dog and a tin cup on the ground. And he played the acoustic guitar for all time and for the gods. Yes, yes, he did. And it echoed down that forsaken alley then, tears in our eyes as he sang the Old Man River request for all our lost souls, there in the dismal filtering light. Angels sometimes pay us a visit, disguised in the most wretched of circumstances. He was old and black and blind, and he sang for all mankind. Yes, yes, he did. This homeless poet who knew full well about the hardship and the despair and the sadness and the loneliness of poverty, as well as the importance of service and support. Had a reminder for all of us who have this enormous responsibility and this great privilege to be part of community action. You know, I think we all know that there are a lot of things involved with the Community Action Agency. The pursuit for economic justice, advocacy on behalf of low-income people, all the political intrigue and intricacies that we're involved with, economic opportunity, being leaders in our community, all sorts of things come with this work, but there's something else. There's something else that we need to remind ourselves of. Because when we provide a head start for a single child, a safe, affordable home for a single low-income family, a utility shut-off prevention for a single household, foreclosure prevention for a single family, weatherization for a single low-income family, mentoring for a single low-income youth, moving to self-sufficiency, a single low-income person. That is something that we do for the person we're serving. It's something we do for our community. It's something we do for our agency. In some ways, it's something that we do for ourselves, and it's also something that we do for all mankind. Yes, yes, we do. 50 years after the signing of the Economic Opportunity Act, it is essential that we remind ourselves that this is still a journey. This is still a pursuit. We're not there yet. There is still far too much poverty in America. Ladies and gentlemen, receiving this award, having my sons here, being in the presence of the son of Sergeant Shriver, who of course was our first director, and for almost 50 years our movement's guiding spirit, and one of America's greatest humanitarians, this is a tremendous honor to me. It's very hard to even put it in words, but I'd like to just assure you that this is shared by many, many people. It's shared by the partnership board that I had the great privilege of serving with for a long time. I remember my first day on that board. I was a good bit younger then. I was a representative from Region 5, and I came away thinking, these folks really work. They're really committed to this. They're really dedicated to that. I was impressed with that. The partnership staff, and I always think of Al Wiseman and all the folks that have been so supportive and so helpful over the years. The partner agencies that we have, NCAF, NASCAP, CAPLAW, how important they've been to all of our work and how they're this big reminder that we're all in this together. I think about the folks back home that have been so important and I owe so much to. We have some of them tonight. Joyce Price, our Chief Operating Officer, Joyce Price CCAP, excuse me, Joyce, our Chief Operating Officer, and several of the little Joyces. They're over there with my 3 sons, and I just owe a lot to them too. And all the many colleagues and the wonderful friends I've met and have the great privilege to serve with for so long. This is indeed a tremendous honor. When we began this conference, Dana Jones said to us that we need to leave here energized. And I think that this has been a meaningful convention for all of us. It's shared by so many. You know, we leave here tomorrow morning, we'll leave DC tomorrow morning, energized, informed, renewed, and recommitted. Monday morning, we will return to our community action agencies. We will return to our community action agencies that are now 50 years old, and perhaps with some echo from our anonymous poet, we will continue our pursuit. Yes, yes, we will. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for your time, your appreciation, your hearts, and your minds.